So this time we're looking at equations. So we've already looked at this year expressions. So I'm just going to write expressions over here and we're going to talk about the difference between the two. Okay, so with expressions, let's just write up an expression. So let's just say I've got 10 take away x. Okay, that's an expression. We can see that we've got a variable. Our variable is x. Okay, and I've got an operation there, which is obviously the minus, and I've got a constant term. Okay, with the constant term being 10. An equation, however, has an equal sign. Okay, and if we have a look, I can write in an answer. So I'm going to write in the answer of 7. So 10 minus x equals 7. Now when we look at equations and when we look at simple equations, you've actually been doing these for a long time, except there hasn't been the variable there. So something that you would have seen in primary or in the past is something that looks like this. 10 take away blank equals 7. So when I have a situation like that, I look at it and I go, okay, well, what do I need to take away from 10 in order to make 7? And you would know that the answer for this one here is 3. So when I have a look at my equation and I've got 10 take away x equaling 7, we obviously know that x equals 3. Now when we solve an equation just by looking at it and by investigating it, we call it solving by inspection. So what we just did then was we solved that equation by inspection. Okay? There are a few other things that you need to understand about when we look at an equation. One is that they're balanced. Okay, so let's just say I've got this equation, and let's just say that equals 18. Now, an equation like this, if I say to you, okay, I want you to have a look at it, and it's got two sides. Here we have the left-hand side, and here we have the right-hand side. Okay, and what they actually do is they form sort of like a balance. So remember the old scales where you put something on one side and then you put individual weights on the other side until they went even, okay, and they balanced each side. This is exactly the same thing, okay? So we have our balance beam and we want to try to balance our equation. Now if I said to you x equals, let's say x equals 5, okay? And I said to you, I want you to tell me whether or not that this equation is balanced. What you would do is you would substitute. So you'd go 2 times 5, so 2 times our coefficient. Our coefficient in this instance equals 5, plus 6 equals 18. So obviously then we have 10 plus 6, and we have 16 equals 18. Obviously that's not true. So that means that this equation is false. 16 is not equal to 18, okay? To have a balanced equation, x is obviously going to have to equal 6, okay? So if x was to equal 6, I'd have 2 times 6 plus 6 equals 18, okay? And obviously 18 is equal to 18. So here are some of the first little points that we're going to talk about when we talk about equations, okay? In later lessons, we're going to look at how to solve an equation algebraically. But at the moment, we're looking at how to solve them through inspection. So if I have a question that's 2 times x equals 20, and I said to you, solve that by using inspection, you would look at it and you would say, okay, 2 times something equals 20, x must equal 10. Okay, so that's how we solve something through inspection, and we'll move on later to solving equations algebraically.